Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's good to see you for another plan with me. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Ariana. Definitely be sure to subscribe, that way you can see some more bullet journal content. But yeah, we're getting into my favorite season. November and December are like my favorite months of the year. Like seriously, the holidays are my absolute favorite. And planning this month is actually a little bit more exciting because I'm in a new journal this time. I know there are some more OCD type people who feel really weird or awkward about starting a new journal in the middle of the year, much less the very end of the year, but I don't know, I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. So here we are. And there will be a separate video about me setting up a new journal, so you can keep an eye out for that. So I'm not going to go into it in this video. So for this month, I didn't really have a specific theme that I wanted to do. I don't know, I've got some like repeating motifs going on through the whole spread, but yeah, like you're going to see light bulbs and these little leaf drawing things all throughout the spread. So typically the thought process behind making the whole month look cohesive is by, of course, using similar doodles throughout all the spreads. But you can also tie everything in with choice of color as well as the fonts that you use throughout. So you'll see I've got all the light bulbs and the little branches of leaves as my motifs, I guess, if you want to call it that. And then I've got two accent colors, this gold marker as well as a kind of a muted green color, which is a Crayola Supertip. And then for my fonts, I'm using just a script font and then a little lowercase serif. But yeah, that's just like a little example. You don't have to do all of that. I just like to do it because it makes each month look a little bit more unique. Another thing that I kind of wanted to highlight throughout the month is just the idea of thankfulness and being grateful, because it is Thanksgiving, and what better time to do that? So I'm going to include a couple of quotes that kind of inspire that, as well as you'll see later on. I am doing a gratitude log this month. P.S. This gold marker that I'm using is actually a permanent marker from Bic, or B-I-C. It's a very fat marker, so I have to be really careful not to press down too hard, because I think I would make way too thick of a line. But right off the bat, I'll talk about this more whenever I do the new bullet journal video. But I'm very impressed with this paper because this permanent marker does not bleed through. So I'm very impressed with that. Oh, and of course I will have all of the materials that I'm using, all the pens, and as well as the journal I'm using. I will leave that in the description box below, so you can always go down there and see what else I'm using. So this spread is actually 2 new pages that I'm doing this month. I decided to try out something by listing out kind of like an ideal morning, I guess as like a best case scenario, or something that I want to strive towards each morning to make it a more productive morning, and having an actual routine instead of just waking up and having to get ready and leave. So yeah, I thought it would be cool to kind of write that out so I could see it visually. I'm sure it'll change as I go along and figure out what works for me. So maybe next month I will have another one and it'll look totally different. And then the page next to it is one that I'm going to use to kind of help myself plot out and plan when certain videos I want to put up, as well as film or edit them. I don't know, I kind of thought it would be cool to have a separate page just for that, to kind of like organize my thoughts and see it visually, because I'm a pretty visual person. Of course, all of this is in hopes that I would be much more consistent with posting videos than I am now. I'm getting there. The next spread is pages that I regularly find myself needing or going back to in a bullet journal spread or setup, and that is a running to-do list, a running buy list or to-buy list, and then of course like a little notes or brain dump section. With bullet journaling, you are just planning a week at a time, or sometimes even a day at a time, and so a lot of times you really need a space to list out some tasks that you need to get done eventually, just to keep them in mind. So I find I use this running to-do list very often. And then the to-buy list is, I think, just a great way to jot things down as they come up so that you don't forget, but also so you can look at them and really think about it before you actually purchase some of these things, you know, being more mindful and the like. Okay, so this is the gratitude log that I was talking to you about. I wanted to try to write down something that I'm thankful for each and every day. Nothing too elaborate. I could just write a few words or just a sentence. So that's why I gave each day just a line, and I did all of the days of the month down vertically. I feel like this is such a great practice to have, really just to set your mind and be thankful for little things and force yourself to think of those things and not just dwell on things that are causing you trouble or you're having a hard time with, but instead shifting your focus to things that are positive and really knowing that there is a lot to be thankful for. The next page is, of course, habit trackers. I'm doing the very similar habits this month. I've just added 2 different ones. I'm still tracking whether I wake up by 6 o'clock in the morning and have my quiet time. Actually, I've been waking up at 5:30 each morning, so that's been pretty good. Of course, I can't say that happens every morning, but it's been more regular lately. And then some of the same things I'm tracking are tidying or cleaning, skincare, working out, eating healthy. And then I decided to add in a hydrating one so that I can make sure I'm drinking enough water. And then I also added a learn German one. It's my goal to learn some German, and figured if I could do a little bit each day, then I could get better in a month. So that's the plan. Be really nice to be able to understand and talk to some of my husband's family who only speak German. So that's the thought on that one. And that is all of the monthly spreads that I'm going to do this month. We're going into our first week now, and I'm going to be doing the same type of setup where I just do one day at a time. And then I just kind of have like a section where I can write down all the little things that's happening this week, and then some things for next week to keep in mind. That way I can keep track of that while I just plan out one day at a time and use as many or as little tasks or notes underneath each day as I want to. So I really like the freedom of that, so I'm doing that again. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this spread and this setup and theme, kind of a theme. I really liked it. I think it was really nice and clean and simple, but also a little bit dreamy and whimsical and just all the things that I like. So if you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to head over to Instagram as well and follow me over there at The Recreative and connect with me over there. I'd love to talk with you and chat about all things bullet journaling. And then I do have some other videos too, so if you're into that, I do other videos about thrifting and upcycling, and I'm getting into a little bit more of I guess minimalism. I wouldn't consider myself a minimalist, but I am really interested in kind of decluttering and living more on purpose, just overall and in general. So if you're into that, definitely follow me over there on Instagram, as well as here on this channel. I'll be doing some videos about that too. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the next video, and you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye!